So Mike Brown's the coach. He's supposed to get the Knicks over the hump. Thibodeau had them, farther than they've been in 25 years. And they got rid of him. So Mike Brown's going to be the difference in them winning a championship and not, because I'm not, this idea to just get to the finals, that's nonsense. They need to win a championship, right? I mean, it's only been since 1973. Most of the Knicks fans, these people that are at the Garden weren't even born to see the Knicks win a championship. Isn't it time to win? Isn't it? I mean, I don't want to get crazy about it. You lost to the Bulls. Oh, by the way, was the NBA? That was the beginning of the NBA Cup last night. What a joke! Is there a bigger joke than the NBA Cup? Does anybody in the world give a damn about the NBA Cup? We're supposed to feel good about the team that wins because the NBA players are going to get more money because they need that more money because they're not making enough. I mean, come on. Give me a break. Oh, God. The NBA Cup. And they guss up the court. I mean, come on. That's a brilliant idea. Maybe we could get some of the, guys, some of the guys who were involved in the NBA betting scandal to bet more on the NBA Cup games. I don't know. Anyway, it's 5 games into the season. Calm down. That's all I can tell you. There's a long way to go, forever to go. This team's going to win their 50-plus games. It's all about what they do in the playoffs. That's it. So you can get all the nervous you want. Today's November 1st. Can we relax a little bit if you're a Knicks fan? I don't think it's time to panic yet. So I woke up to that because, when you got to get up at this hour, you're not going to be able to see the end of all these games. I guess the Dodgers won, right? 3-1, Yamamoto. He didn't pitch a complete game, though. Only 6 innings for Yamamoto last night. I hope that Toronto wins tonight. I really do. I can't stand the Dodgers. Right? I mean, who can stand the Dodgers? And I liked Ohtani a lot more when he was playing for the Angels. I don't know about you, but I did. I mean, now that he's on this team, I know the Yankee fans don't want to see the Dodgers win because, even though they don't like Toronto, because they don't want to see the Dodgers, win 2 in a row. The Yankees want to continue to have that, that they're the last team to win back-to-back championships. Actually won 3 in a row. But anyway, so the Dodgers, Game 7 tonight. Game 7's always good. I don't know how excited. I got to tell you, tonight, if I'm watching sports tonight, I'll be watching college football. I could care less. My baseball season ended a month ago. The only thing I care about in baseball right now is that my team signs Pete Alonso and Edwin Diaz. That's really all I care about. Nothing else do I give a damn about in baseball except that the Mets sign Alonso and that they sign Diaz. That's all. That's the only baseball thing that really matters to me here on November 1st. And you know what else I'm upset about, by the way, that the Dodgers won last night, is that the World Series now gets into November, which is a joke, too. I know it's happened, it happened before, Derek Jeter, Mr. November, all of that. Back, what was that, 0-1, when they lost to Arizona, right? That crazy series when they won the home team won every game, right? That one. Anyway, Luis Gonzalez, I know Yankee fans want to remember that, but whatever. I think that was the first time that the World Series went into November. It's ridiculous that you're playing World Series games in November. So that's the bad part, that at least that it didn't end last night in October. It's not a big deal, but to me it is a little bit of a big deal. So you got that going on tonight. Well, like I said, my baseball season ended a month ago. I really don't care. And by the way, I don't know if anybody paid attention to this last night. I had it on for a little while. North Carolina, Belichick actually won a game last night. They beat Syracuse up at the Dome, 27-10. Oh my God! I'm sure it was a fun night in the Belichick household, right after the game. Oh my God, Bill! I hope he took some, took care of his heart. Took some heart pills before last night. I'm sure, maybe some other pills too, but we won't get into that. Anyway, so my football team can't lose this week. How about that? We're on a bye, and I think coming off the win last week, we're actually favored. I think we're laying 2.5 against the bye this week. And how about the fact that the coach has not named Fields as the starter yet? Fields is going to be the starter. How is he not the starter now? He has this all-world game last week. Why are you waiting to name him the starter? Did he? I don't know. Maybe he did. I don't think he did yet. I don't get that either. Glenn is a weird guy. I don't know what kind of coach he's going to turn out to be. It doesn't look very good right now, as we know. But he's a strange guy. He handles the media very, very, for a guy that's 1-7, he handles the media, maybe he could handle it a little better. But, we'll see. Again, am I thrilled with Glenn? No. Am I thrilled being 1-7? No. They could easily have 2 or 3 more wins. Let's be real about it. But let's see where we go from here. 9 games to go. Go out and win 5 games. Is that too much to ask if you're a Jet fan? To go like 5-4 over the last 9? The schedule is not hard. You got the Cleveland Browns, and a rookie quarterback coming up next week, right? You got to play the Dolphins, who stink. They got hammered the other night by the Ravens. How bad did they look the other night? Mike McDaniel, this guy looks clueless. They fired the general manager, and they kept McDaniel? I don't get that. I don't understand why they're doing that. But you got the Dolphins yet coming in home. You got the Saints on the schedule. Atlanta, who's no world beater. Go win some games. You're still going to get a high draft choice. If you go 5-4 over the last 9, that's 6-11. You're still going to have a very high draft choice to be able to draft a quarterback. So I want to see some wins. And what I don't want to see is the Jets trading Breece Hall. I don't want to see that. Why do I want to trade my best offensive player? And make no mistake, if you're a Jet fan, the best offensive player on this team is not Garrett Wilson, it's Breece Hall. Garrett Wilson still needs somebody to throw him the ball to make a play. All you got to do is hand Breece the ball. And if you notice, if you notice the last few years that he's been here, when he has a big game, the Jets usually win. So I don't want to get rid of him. I don't want another Saquon Barkley, situation. Pay him. Pay him. I would pay him. Why can't you pay him? I don't want to trade him. I want to see him go to Kansas. Could you imagine Breece Hall in Kansas City? Could you imagine that? If he played for the Chiefs, he'd be Jimmy Brown or Walter Payton. Come on. Unbelievable. I don't want to see him go. Let's see. Let's use him right. Let's have him, let him be the focal point of the offense going forward. Him and Isaiah Davis, that's a nice 1-2 punch. Hopefully Wilson's back for the Cleveland game. They traded for this guy, what's his name, Mechie from Alabama? Well, he was from Alabama. He was on the Eagles. They traded Michael Carter, who was, falling out of favor there, and they got a lot of guys in the secondary now. Brownlee has basically taken his spot. He's played pretty good. So, Sauce hopefully be back for the Cleveland game. I want to win some games. Let me see if they got a coach. Let's see. Let's see if we have a head coach here. To me, this is the biggest thing going forward if you're a Jet fan. Do we have a head coach? Because God knows I don't want to see this. I don't want to have the 2 years from now or at the end of next year or at the end of this year. I'm looking. I don't think he'd fire him at the end of this year anyway. Looking for a new coach. I'm tired of that. I am. I'm so tired of it. But don't trade Breece Hall. I really wouldn't trade anybody. I'm very down on Quinn Williams, who I think is extremely overrated. Extremely. Do you ever see this guy have a monster game where he's disrupts the football game? Do you ever see him do that? I haven't. I've seen every game he played. I have never seen him do that. Do you ever see him sack the quarterback 3 times in a game? Do you ever see him knock a pass in the air maybe and intercept it or tip it that a teammate intercepts it? And we don't intercept passes anyway. The Jets are the only team in the NFL without an interception this year. Can you believe that? They have 1 turnover all year that they forced. How about the fact that they don't have an interception and the quarterback hasn't thrown an interception? Unbelievable. And we're 1-7. Howdy, whoop-de-do, whoop-de-damn-do, as Derek Coleman once said. Unbelievable. But let's see. I want to win some games. Go out and beat Cleveland next week. Let me tell you, we're going to find out a lot about Glenn if he's got this team ready to play after the bye. Because the Jets traditionally, I don't care who the coach is, have rarely ever won after the bye. Never. So let's see that coming back. It'd be nice to have a 2-game winning streak. What a concept that would be. And on the other, and as far as the other team in New York, I really feel bad for the Giants. I got to tell you, watching the Jet game last week, and between commercials and I was going to the Giant game, and I happened to see the play that Thibodeau got hurt. Oh my God, that's terrible. I mean, I really feel bad for him, and I feel bad for the Giant fans. They got a little juice there, but the future looks pretty good. I think. I mean, the quarterback looks like the real deal. I keep telling everybody, look at the first 4 or 5 games that Eli Manning played, and look at in his career, and look at the first 4 or 5 games that Dart has played. It's not even close. So I think the Giants really got something with the quarterback. It's unfortunate about Thibodeau. It's unfortunate about Neighbors. Those guys come back and are healthy next year. The Giants should be a pretty decent team. I give them a shot tomorrow. I don't think they're going to win tomorrow against the Niners, but I give them a shot to win that game. San Francisco's 2.5-point favorite in that game? I give them a shot. We'll see. We'll see how they play tomorrow. But, the state of football in New York is not great with a lot of games left to play as we are now in November. Can you believe it's November 1st today? I mean, Thanksgiving is 2 minutes away. Christmas is 5 minutes away. I mean, it's amazing how the year has just flown by. Halloween last night. It's crazy. It's really, really great. And of course, it's November 1st, and of course, certainly my team's football season is over, and I would assume, at least as far as making any kind of playoff run, the Giants' season is over as well. So, but you do get to look at this young quarterback and see if he develops. You got a quarterback, Giant fans. I don't know if you have a coach. That I don't know. But you definitely have a quarterback. There's no doubt about it. So we'll see what happens this weekend. And that's the story. Knicks lose. World Series continues. Bill Belichick wins a game last night. Jets are off this week. Giants playing the 49ers. If you're into college football, a lot of good games again today in the college world. If you're into all of that, I'll be all over that today as well. 888-808-1019, the phone number. We'll break here. We'll back with your calls. We're here to Big Blue preview show at 7. 888-808-1019, the phone number. We're here till 7 o'clock for the Big Blue preview show. Matthew in Manhattan to start us off. Matthew, how are you?
Hey, good morning, Joe. How you doing this morning? How's your wife's hiccups doing?
You heard the
the podcast yesterday.
Now let me ask you a question, all right? I don't know how old you are, but let me ask you, do you know anybody over the age of 17 that gets consistent hiccups on a consistent
I've had a bout with the hiccups.
You did?
What I do is I swallow air. Just take air and swallow air and see if you can let out a good burp. That's what I do to
swallow. Wait. So you get them? You're telling me, right?
I sure do. I mean, I take medication for my.
Really?
I have chronic pain, so sometimes that enhances the pain.
I
also take
see.
a muscle relaxer. So
I
have
see.
medications which kind of exacerbates my hiccups, but you bet they are annoying, and sometimes they last as much as a couple of hours.
Really?
But I just find time heals it, and holding your nose, swallowing some air.
Wow.
So
Matthew, your remedy is holding your nose and swallowing air. Okay.
Yeah, and maybe popping. If you could hold Terry's ears at the same time.
And hold her ears at the same time.
Yeah.
Wow.
That will kind of excite and reset the diaphragm.
Reset the diaphragm.
The diaphragm,
wow.
Which is kind of in a spasm of the diaphragm.
Matthew, I'm glad you called. I'm glad you're giving me this. I'm glad you're giving me this sage advice. My poor wife, who's up now, she's sitting here cracking up. She's like laughing her rear end off here right now. So,
well, I hope it's annoying, but hey,
anyway,
just as long as you don't get that. Anyway, on to the Jets, Joe. Do you see them trading maybe Quentin Williams or Jermaine Johnson? Would you be happy with it?
I just don't want. You know what? I wouldn't be as upset with those guys as I would be Breece, because I think Breece is really a big time player that's never really been used right with this team. And I think that's a big part of it. I think they need to build the offense around him. I think Quentin Williams is vastly overrated. I mean, I don't know how you feel about that. I mean, you watched the game. So where was the pass rush last week? Joe Flacco had all day to throw the ball. They finally
non-existent.
They finally sacked him late in the game. McDonald sacked him late in the game, but they didn't touch him the whole game. You know? So I don't know. I don't love either of them. I think Johnson has a chance to be a real good pass rusher, but Quinton Williams to me, everybody loves him. He grades out as, like he's Aaron Donald. You know what I mean? Like he's Joe Green. I don't know. But I don't want to trade Breece. Breece, I don't want to trade.
Maybe get a 4th or 5th round pick. They could get a 4th or 5th round pick for him.
For Quinton Williams? Okay with. Quinton Williams?
Yeah.
No. If I'm trading Quinton Williams, you got to. Nah, you got to give me a 2. You got to give me a 2nd rounder for him at least. I mean, I wouldn't trade him for a 4th round pick. I'm not trading anybody. Let me ask you this, Matthew. Yep. Why would we trade anybody for a 4th round pick? When was the last time the Jets hit on a 4th round pick? When was that guy? Right? I can't remember. Why would I want to make that trade? No. And as far as on the offensive side of the football, this offensive line, maybe it's starting to come around. They had a terrific game last week. I know Cincinnati's defense stinks, but the offensive line had a terrific game. Let's build the offense around Breece Hall. Okay? Can we do that? Okay.
Yeah, I like that game plan a lot. Joe, have you been watching the college game or any quarterbacks on the Jets' radar?
I have watched. I've been watching college football even more than the NFL. I'll be locked in today. I'm really into the SEC games. I've seen Mendoza play from Indiana. He looks very good. Yeah. The quarterback of Alabama, Simpson, I think he's very good. I like the kid from Vanderbilt, Diego Pavia, but he's small. He's small. I've watched a lot of Arch Manning. The problem with Arch Manning is that his offensive line is terrible. He gets hit a lot. Texas has a good defense. Their offensive line stinks. Here's what I say to everybody, Matthew. Mm-hmm. Draft. I don't care who they draft. He better be the right guy. You know what I mean? Exactly. I don't care what guy they draft. You better draft the right quarterback. It doesn't matter who it is, as long as it's the right guy. That's how I feel about it.